Okay, we're at the Black Coffee Studio. Day 2 of the Darling Discordia sessions. We got Marcus here. Mark, what did you do today?
Today we opened up another session. I did 4 drum tracks today. Plus we also have an acoustic song and a song with a lot of programming and some guitars. Peter actually did, so we have about 11 tracks that we're working with right now in just the 2 sessions. So we're making really nice progress on the record.
As far as this record compared to the last record, what do you think is the biggest difference? Whether it be recording or sound or...
I think the biggest difference is probably we're being, I don't want to say more smart about this record, but I guess the approach, I think we're taking a better approach to it, meaning we're kind of planning a lot further ahead and saying we want to do these songs, let's work on this batch, we'll prepare these, and we come in and we're fresh. And my favorite thing so far for me personally is I've been coming up the night before that we start the track, and I get all my drums set up the night before, and then I just actually stay over at the studio, and then when the guys or everyone else comes in the next day, we start tracking. We save a ton of time because I'm already set up and ready to go, and you know, there's something for everyone to do, and it's not just sitting around and things like that. So it's pretty cool.
One last question would be, since VAGORA is based out of Rhode Island, why drive so far to record out in Williamsburg, Mass. at Black Coffee,
Well,
as opposed to a more local place?
Basically, because I mean, by now this will be our 4th record with Clay. He knows us. He knows our sound, what we're trying to go for, and I mean, no one's bothering us right now. We're in a picturesque setting. There's water, there's woods. We can be ourselves and do our thing, and in complete isolation, and have this record be completely focused. It's great. It's totally worth it.
Awesome.
We are here with TB at the
everybody?
Black Coffee Studio.
Black Coffee Sound.
Sir. All right, Trace.
Well as road sound.
How about you tell us a little about your recording setup here for this record, and how it's maybe differed from some other projects, or kind of your thing with that?
Well, Clay has such a good. Clay would be our engineer / mixing guy that owns this fine establishment. Clay has a very big arsenal of gear, one of which I have grown to love. Every time we've recorded here, I think I've used it. Is the orange Dual Terror. It's about that big. It really is about the size of a toaster oven, maybe a little smaller, and it just sounds so mean and gnarly. He also has he got rid of his Mesa Boogie, which I was upset about, but he also has a Marshall JCM 2000, which I have used this time around, which anyone who knows me, that will probably come as a big shock to them, because I am not a Marshall guy whatsoever, but I actually played one of those on one of the last Blitzkid tours that we did, and I actually really liked it. So I figured I would do something different and use that for a lot of the rhythm guitar tracks that I've done so far. Other than that, something else I've never done on this record is I used a Stomp Box modeler from Line 6. It's the Line 6 pod. I got a lot of really good, really crunchy, really nasty distorted rhythm tracks out of that this time around. So just experimentation, man, is the main thing. Just that's definitely one thing I've done differently this time around. Just getting some different sounds, getting some different tones, and placing stuff where it needs to be, and not just being noodly for the sake of being noodly, or shredding for the sake of shredding. I think Agoraphobic had a lot of that on it, but as far as on my behalf, but I was just so excited that I was not having to sing all the time, that I could actually concentrate on guitar. I think I went a little overboard. I still go overboard, even on this record. I'm sure I'm going to go overboard as well. But the main difference is that I know when to rein it in now, I guess, than as opposed to previous experiences. But it's been good. You know, the approach is not that different. Just a little tweaks here and there. That'll help it, you know, hopefully turn out to sound better.
Cool. Basically, in a nutshell, what is, you know, the process of, you know, we're gonna do a double album? How does that come about, basically?
Insanity. No, I think, you know, for me personally, I think I've never done a double album with anything that I've ever been involved with, and we came close when I was in Blitzkid when we did 5 Sellers Below. That was almost an hour long, and that was only 16 songs. So I can only imagine how long a double record is going to be. I just dated myself. I said record. For all you kids out there that don't know, we used to have these big round things called records that we put on these things called turntables, and we'd put a needle down and they'd play. Now you have your iPod, stuff like that. But you know, and CDs. You know, you guys probably don't remember CDs either. But I think, you know, I think of just Vagora's always been an adventurous band. We've always said, you know what? Well, we're gonna try this. If it works, it works. If it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't. And I think, you know, the logical step for us after our song, well, probably not the logical step, but we deduced the theological step for us after our summer is everyone's fall, is that we should record a double album, because I had a lot of material sitting around. Peter had a lot of material sitting around. Mark, cameraman, had a lot of ideas floating around as well. We have 2 new band members who actually are songwriters in their own right, Kylie and Jesse. So I think, you know, the creative juices were just flowing, and we just, you know, we said, you know what, let's do something we've never would have thought about doing before, and let's do a double album. And I think we just kind of were talking about it one day and talking about how it would be cool, because you don't see bands doing that a lot anymore. And you know, the last double album that I can remember being released was Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness from Smashing Pumpkins, and that was, you know, 1995, 96. So it's a huge undertaking. It certainly is, and it's definitely, you know, going to take up, you know, a large amount of time to record so many songs. But the thing is, you know, we're putting our best foot forward. We got a lot of different things going on this record that people aren't going to expect from us, and I know every band member and every band says that when they're recording a new album. But I think it's definitely true for us this time around. We got a song that we're going to be doing in drop B. You know, Mark is actually doing some of the most diverse drumming I've heard him do. So I think I think it's going to be good. You know, it's going to be a diverse, long couple of albums, and I think people at this point, at this stage in the game, people are going to either love them or hate them, and I'm good either way, because either way we know we're doing something right.
Awesome. We are here with Peter, Vagora, Black Coffee Sound. Alright, so we've been here pretty much all day recording, and what's your take on today?
Today was very productive. Got a lot done, a lot of diverse songs. The album definitely feel like the album's taking shape today. It's not just a bunch of songs. I feel like there's an album there now. You know, still a long way to go, but it feels like we're, you know, it's a piece of work and not just some random songs now.
Most bands, by the time they get to their 4th album, decide to go in a different direction, either with a different producer or, you know, what have you. What's you know, what makes Vagora such a consistent in that respect as far as the record goes?
Well, I think we always kind of go into each record with a game plan, regardless of whatever it is. I don't like to get into it too much, but our game plan for this one was, one of it had to be the best record that we did for whatever reason. That's between the bands. So, the other records we've done, we want this to be the best debut album. We want this to be the best representation of what we sound like live. This record is, the best. We want it to be our signature. What people will remember us for would be this record, hopefully. It's a bold statement, but it's the way we went into it.
Awesome. What has been your favorite part of, not necessarily today, but this recording process, even in the writing stages, not necessarily just the actual recording of it, versus maybe some of the other records?
This album has been very therapeutic for me, lyrically and personally. Whereas the last record we did, a lot of the songs were written a while ago, so the feelings behind them, were kind of, gone, or the person I wrote it about maybe wasn't in my life anymore. This record's pretty much still in my heart, or everything I wrote about is still pretty fresh. The wounds are fresh, and everything, is still raw, so it's definitely the most real record as far as, getting a direct emotion out of somebody. That's what I'm putting into it, is direct emotion from this record.
Awesome.